Reacher Season 1 ending explained. An elusive piece of pie is finally served. Big events can hinge on small coincidences. Lee Child's Jack Reacher series of crime thriller novels usually build around the smallest of decisions and snowball into wild conspiracies featuring some truly vile criminals, and Prime Video's Reacher series stays true to this conceit. Faithfully adapting Child's first Reacher book, Killing Floor, the show stars Alan Ritchson, Smallville, as Jack Reacher, a former military investigator who now essentially wanders the United States. In Reacher's words, he's more of a hobo than a vagrant. Before Tom Cruise handed the keys to his Mission Impossible franchise over to Christopher McQuarrie, The Usual Suspects screenwriter adapted and directed One Shot, the ninth Reacher book, as the 2012 thriller Jack Reacher. That film accurately caught the book's tone, and while Cruise is clearly not a physical match for the 6'5", 230 pounds, Beast described in Child's books, that first film was good enough for longtime readers to grudgingly get on board. Cruise's follow-up, Jack Reacher, Never Look Back, was a bland, by-the-numbers military thriller, unlike the very good book it's based on. After that film was met with a collective yawn from audiences and critics alike, Jack Reacher went into hibernation. Now, all 8 episodes of the new Reacher series' first season is available to stream on Amazon Prime. Let's take a look at how this inaugural season ended, and what we can infer about Reacher's next adventure now that the show has already been renewed for a Season 2. Jack Reacher is a former major with a military investigation unit, now retired and essentially wandering the country. He arrives in the small town of Margrave, Georgia, hoping for nothing more than to find the burial site of the legendary bluesman Blind Blake. Unfortunately for Reacher, he arrives in town the morning after a local named Pete Jobling is found brutally murdered, along with another, as yet unidentified man. An eyewitness has placed Reacher near the scene, so the local Margrave cops bring the big stranger in, using extreme caution and depriving him of a piece of famous Georgia peach pie. Reacher meets Finley, Malcolm Goodwin, Margrave's chief detective, a transplant from Boston with his own ghosts, and Roscoe, Willa Fitzgerald, a local cop who becomes Reacher's love interest. Reacher can prove that he was on a Greyhound bus when the murders took place, but when he agrees to take a look at the mystery victim, he is stunned to discover it's his older brother, Joe Reacher, Christopher Russell. It was Joe who first told Reacher about Blind Blake and his supposed place of rest, and even though the brothers haven't kept in touch, Reacher is determined to stay in town until Joe's killers are found. While Finley checks out Reacher's story, Reacher spends a weekend in the lockup with Paul Hubble, Mark Bendavid, a banker who works in Atlanta. When evidence from the crime scene leads to Hubble's door, the milquetoast banker immediately and unconvincingly confesses to the crimes. Rather than place Reacher and Hubble in a temporary holding facility, someone conspires to place them with the maximum security population. A group of convicts attacks them, but Reacher lays them all out with ease. Who wants Hubble dead and why? It definitely has something to do with the town's newly dead police chief, who is found nailed to a wall and missing a delicate part of his anatomy. Finley wants Reacher on the sidelines, while the mayor, Grover Teal, Bruce McGill, names himself the new police chief and wants him out of town. Reacher discovers that the town of Margrave was very recently restored by the rich and powerful Kleiner, Curry Graham, who pulls the mayor's strings.